Hey guys, just a quick video tonight. I tried to film and upload a video last week with the kids like I used to, just in the room, them playing in the background, and it didn't work. They went crazy. So I'm still gonna put up that video of basically just them jumping around the room going crazy, because that's what happens anymore. Anytime I try to film in a room with them awake, they just kind of take over the camera, have fights, have meltdowns.
Well, I mean, that's what this whole channel's about, right?
Yeah. So I'm still gonna put up that video, slightly edited, in case I had to break up any fights, but yeah, that's how it's still going here. I did want to finally do a video though, because I don't have as many chores tonight, so yeah, I can sit down after kids go to bed and have a drink. Cheers. Autism parent life. Most adult thing you'll ever see on this channel is us drinking, cause yeah,
Sanity.
sanity, month 8 of isolation. Still, the reason why I really wanted to make a video, kind of out of topic tonight, was that yesterday I took the kids to church, and something happened with Carmelo that I tried to find some information about on the internet, of course. Anytime I haven't experienced something or come across something dealing with autism, you know, internet's the place to go, right? Message boards, things like that. Try to see if someone else has had a similar experience with this. So what happened was, went to church, there was the cutest little baby sitting in front of us, and Carmelo was sitting by me. One of the really good things about going to church is that the redheads, Hiddo and Eva, like to go into children's church, and Carmelo likes to sit out with me and Matt, and so he gets the one-on-one time, and he really enjoys that. It's like maybe his 1 hour a week that he gets mommy and daddy completely to himself. So he usually sits in my lap, things like that, but he wanted to sit in his own chair, so he had his own chair, and he saw this baby. All of a sudden, his favorite thing to do at church is to eat a donut. Like, it's the donut shop for him. So he was trying to eat his donut, and he's looking at this baby, and then he gives me the donut, and he like starts to have this like disgusted look on his face, and he actually gagged, and he was like coughing and also doing his fake coughing, which is a stim of his. And then I was like, oh goodness, like my anxiety going up, because my biggest fear really is like the kids throwing up. So I took him to the bathroom. He was fine. We go back to sit, and I put him in my lap so he's facing me, not facing the baby that's on a shoulder. And then he's fine. He's laughing and giggling and like talking to me and everything for almost the entire service. And then he turns back around toward the end of the service and sees that the baby's gone. Someone holding the baby got up and walked away. So he searches the room for the baby, and he spots the baby over by the wall being held, and he again like starts to like make this like disgusted face and gags again and starts to cough. And I'm like, is he physically getting like disgusted by the sight of this really cute baby? Which has never happened to us with a living thing. And I've never heard of this happening, this kind of reflex response happening to anyone with anything that wasn't like something edible. Like, yes, I know it happens with food, and then like certain textures, if you see something of a certain texture, that can gross you out, right? But I never even thought that it could happen with just like an object or a person or a living being, which I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Carmelo has always had anxiety about babies. When Eva was a baby, I couldn't put her down.
I would call that anxiety. Not toward Eva.
Well, no, he didn't have that response toward Eva, but it was like I couldn't put Eva down. And that was another reason. There were many reasons why I carried Eva in the carriers all the time.
He assumed that she was like a static object and shouldn't move and shouldn't be without you.
Yeah, like she was meant to be like on my chest at all times. And if she wasn't, he got really frustrated with it, and he'd pull me to where Eva was, like to pick her up, because he wasn't really speaking at that time. But to have this like this physical, I don't know, of effect happening to him by just looking at a baby, I couldn't find anything on the internet about it. I know it has to do with like sensory issues, sensory processing disorder. I've seen it a lot. People asking questions about like, oh, why does my child gag, or even if they see certain things, smell certain things. But it's always toward, like I said, something that's like tactile, like a slime or something like that, which Carmelo had that. If he saw like green slime on
The color.
on the color of like, oh yeah, if it was the color, if it was like the color, yeah, if it was like the green gack color, he was disgusted by it. So it was just the color, okay, granted. And then the slime like coming down in Rugrats films. Eva had it also with anything sweet, and especially cookies. They could be across the room. She looked at them and she would gag. So, like, but to have such a strong response to just looking at a baby, maybe it was because the baby was drooling, maybe it was because the baby had, like, was biting on the spit blanket. I don't know. So that was just something weird that happened, and I wanted to talk about because, yeah, it's...
I got new words.
Uh-huh. It definitely stumped me, and I'm all about, like, you know, knowing as much as I can about autism and sensory disorders, and, like, but that's one I never heard about. So that's why I'm putting it in a video, because I'm like, it was just something I never even heard about. And I know as the kids get older, more and more things are going to be happening that I'm like, I have no experience with. I never heard anybody talking about it, because I've always known, most of the people I've known with children with autism have been around the same age or younger. A few people I watch like on YouTube who have teenagers, and I'm like, I know like the changing into teenage, the years is definitely going to bring its own challenges. Hito's already proving that, and that's another big reason why we're not filming as much right now, is because he's been having some behavioral issues, especially with him dealing with like dominance in the household,
right.
Wanting to be an adult.
He calls himself a man when I correct him.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be corrected anymore like a child, because he thinks he's now grown and a man. I'm like, you're 9. So if he watches this, he's gonna be screaming at me, I'm sure.
Hito, if you're watching this, you are a man. You're just yay high and 10 years old.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Almost 10, yeah. He calls himself man-child.
Because well, no,
Man-son.
Man-son.
Yeah, he calls himself man-son.
He's my son, so he at least acknowledges that, but he also wants to be a man. So it's fine.
Yeah, he wants to be grown, and he thinks he can make all the decisions now by himself.
And he thinks he can fuss the other children.
Yeah.
And correct them and put them in timeout.
Yeah, so that's been a struggle right now for us, is trying to teach him that, like, we're still in control as parents. He does have some leeway, but he needs to talk more and not just
scream.
Yeah, and think that no, like, there's no discussion because I'm the dominant one. Anyway, it's been fun. So, a new sensory issue with Carmelo coming out, and Hito with his dominance. Hence the drinks.
I mean, let's be honest. I'd still have a drink.
So an update, since I wasn't really able to talk in the last one, in the video I was trying to film with the kids, I was trying to kind of do an update with what's going on. So we had a whole bunch of hurricanes that were supposed to hit us this year, and
Missed 3 of them.
yeah, none of them hit directly. All like 6 of them were supposed to hit directly,
And
none of them
all
hit
went
us
left.
directly.
They went left or right.
Yeah,
We
we just got wind and a little bit of rain. Little bit of rain from a couple of them. So
It was a non-event. But that's the other side of the state.
Yeah. So this side of Louisiana dodged the hurricanes. The other side didn't. So it was just constantly like, okay, we're prepping. Do we have to like evacuate, have all of our stuff together, pack again? Like, it is just a crazy hurricane season. And then the kids have been back in dance classes. Eva's been able to go to some birthday parties. So that's been filling up our weekends. We've been trying to get out. We were going to finally take the kids back to the zoo because I found out that they weren't requiring masks. And now they changed up some regulations where now you have to wear masks. Masks are mandatory. So the zoo's out of the question again.
Because there's no way we can get them to keep those masks on the entire time in the zoo.
And Carmelo's been begging every day since like February to go back to the zoo. So we're not doing that. We've been trying to get the kids out at least for walks, open air events. But that's pretty much all we're doing. Staying around the house, trying to get them outside. One of our chickens has a broken wing.
Possums.
We've been having a problem with possums in the backyard. So that's where my nights have been. That's why I can't really video anything. But we took care of some of the problem. So I had time. Yeah. But it's a whole family of possums apparently. So
yeah, it's not just one. So it's gonna be a bit.
And hawks have been trying to
Get them in the daytime.
Get them during the day, yes. So that's been fun. So maybe I'll be able to make a scarecrow with the kids or something to try to scare off the hawks sometime soon. But now Eva has anxiety about inanimate objects and doesn't want me to make a scarecrow because she says that she's afraid of them. And yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Poor chickens. Anything you want to add? No. Matt's happy with his new computer that we built.
It's slightly powerful.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to make a comment about the bi-colored wall, it's because we built this room 8 years ago and never painted.
It's inside of a man cave. I mean, does it need to be painted?
I think it looks kind of cool. Anyway. Alright, so we're going to finish our drinks and get some more chores done. So until next time, guys. Bye.